What's going on, everybody? This is Tony. Welcome you back to another episode of Into the Comiverse. So we're going to get right back into it. Tonight's focus is going to be about Transformers. So got back here in the studio, live from across the pond. We got Dr. Von Hoot. How you doing, Doctor?
Yeah, not bad, mate. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's talk Transformers. Let's go.
All right. Well, I would say let's hear from the chat, but there is nobody in the chat.
Nobody in yet. Well, I'm sure they'll file in eventually.
Yeah. So, you been having a good day today?
Yeah, not too bad. Like I've had very little sleep, but otherwise, yeah, no, I can't complain. It would be rude.
We got our first guy. We got our brother Durs. What's going on, man?
Does. How you doing?
And he's showering us with love or whatever.
Whatever that is, yeah.
I'm here, Daddy.
I keep it to my imagination, that one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go there.
How have you been?
Man. Well, I've had a pretty good week. Pretty good weekend, man.
Yeah, Durs is right. Everybody should check out the replay of Daniel Warren Johnson's stream last night. He showed artwork for pages from, I think it was issue 2, might be wrong, but it looks amazing. Spoilers, Optimus Prime does a suplex. Like, like it's going to be amazing. I can't wait for that book.
I might have to check that out. This is the first I've heard of this.
Yeah, definitely. I'll find the link and send it to you. Yeah.
But yeah, that's wow. So what are you holding there, Doctor?
This is I had this bought for me one Christmas, I think, by Mrs. Von Hoot, because she knows I love Transformers, and this is a vintage Transformers pop-up book from the UK.
Oh wow!
It's got loads of junk on the back, but let's have a look inside because that's the exciting bit.
Yeah.
Do you want to make me big for a second there?
Yeah. Give me a second. Let me do that. There you go. Let me get that.
Yeah, there's the cover because it's got that awesome classic artwork that you used to get on the boxes with a weird snake thing that, I don't know what that's about, but always cool. And then if we open it up, you got stuff like this, which is like a weird Cybertronian base, I guess. I didn't actually read it, but it's too many words. You got this snake popping out of it, which is a good fun feature. But let's get to some Transformer action because that's where it's at. Look at all these classic artwork with Ravage transforming from a tape there and Starscream.
I was gonna say there's my boy Starscream.
Yeah, it's very, very cool little book. Like I have no idea what who that's supposed to be. It doesn't. It's got Autobot's insignia on it, but it doesn't really look like anything. It looks a bit Jetfire-y.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is that supposed to be Jetfire?
I mean, it doesn't really look like him, but it doesn't say. Unfortunately.
Or would it be Skyfire?
No, it's supposed to be. Reading the blurb and looking at this picture, I think it's Ultra Magnus's ship. He crash lands and fights this giant snake thing. But yeah, I thought this would be fun to have a look at just because not many people have seen this thing. I mean, it's a bizarre oddity from the 80s. And that's it. That's the whole book. But it's fun. I love it.
Durs likes it.
Wow. Can't go wrong. It's good taste.
Now, I know as far as old Transformer stuff that I used to have that I would love to go back and get, I know that when I was a kid, there was, hold on a second. My buddy Tim finally made it. What's up? Yeah, he's going to come over tonight for D&D night.
Oh, cool.
But there was a Transformers, the movie sticker book that came out in 1986 when the movie came out. It was basically just it was a little thin book that told the stories, and then they had
Right.
like you could buy these separate packs of sticker cards,
Yeah.
and you put them in the book, and to complete the story, I want to say there was like 30 stickers for the collection.
Oh, right. Okay.
I keep thinking, I wonder how much that thing costs now.
Yeah, you want to try and find that one. That sounds fun. I imagine getting the stickers would be a nightmare. Unopened, but you never know. Like back then, they produced so much of that stuff that there might be some knocking about. I remember I had the sticker album. I think it was a Panini sticker album over here, which was for G1, and it came out very early on, and I think it was about 90 stickers in it. I've still got it in the other room, but the cover's torn off. It's completely mangled. But I've got it.
And I'd love to get my old Transformers lunchbox back.
Oh yeah. I think I've got one of those somewhere, but
all I remember is I had a metal one. I think it had the original toy design on the cover of it. Then I had a plastic one that I think it had Metroplex on it. But
I think that's the one I had. I think I had a little plastic blue flask in my one, and I want to say it had Prime on, like in the sort of the toy version of Optimus Prime transforming sort of stance. Yeah,
it's been a minute, so I mean I don't know. I look that stuff up on eBay. I ain't no telling how much a lunchbox goes for.
Yeah, probably quite a lot. Lunchbox collectors are a big thing. They love those lunchboxes. Yeah,
and they still make vintage lunchboxes too, as well. I mean,
yeah.
All right, Tim says I actually read the comic book adaptation of Transformers the movie months before I saw the movie, and I believe they were Tony's copies, if I recall correctly. Thanks for that, bro. They probably were because
wow.
See, I always tell people, well, I mean, a lot of people online probably don't know, but they'll find out tonight that I am a massive Transformers guy. I've been a fan since the first episode aired on television in 1984. Collected the toys, blew some of them up, and collected the comics. The comics were real big for me, and yeah, I probably did show him the series. But yeah, for me it was always Transformers, and it's funny because I was thinking about things to collect, and Tim's the guy I was telling you about. He runs the video store / furniture shop, and they sold all their VHS tapes, and I really wish I could have got a hold of him when they started selling the VHS tapes, because there was a lot of stuff that I rented there, and they had a pretty decent Transformers videotape collection of the episodes, and then they had the movie, the cartoon movie and all that. But I would love to get my hands on that stuff now, because if I go on eBay, there ain't no telling how much that stuff's going to cost for VHS. Yeah. I mean, now you can CGC or you can get graded VHS tapes now. So I mean,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you can find them still sealed, it's worth doing, because they can go for a lot of money, like if they're rare ones.
Oh yeah.
So like you started with G1. Did you go on to Beast Wars and stuff like that, or are you just G1 guy?
Oddly enough, I did not collect any of the toys of Beast Wars. I watched the show and I was like, I was strictly a G1 guy. Yeah. Probably still am to a certain extent. I try to watch a lot of the new stuff. I watched Transformers Prime, and I watched that first, where they did the trilogy of the Netflix stuff.
Yes, yeah.
Here recently, I watched the first season of that. I hadn't watched the rest of them, but I watched the first season of that.
I liked the first season. That was probably the best of the three, I think. So you probably made the right choice. But
hold on, we got somebody in the back for a second. Welcome in, E-Man.
Hold on here. Wait a minute. We're talking Transformers, Tony? That's what's happening? I need to be involved in this conversation if it's okay.
Absolutely.
By all means.
Bro.
But as far as the Beast Wars toys, I didn't collect them, but I had friends that did. And I actually, like I said, I didn't care for the graphics of the show, but I actually liked some of the episode stories. So, I mean.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys. when Beast Wars and Beast Machines came out, I was like, wow, this CGI is pretty terrible. I don't know. There was just something about it. Wasn't refined. It wasn't ready. We weren't ready for it at the time. But when I watched the first 3 seasons of Beast Wars, I was like, wow, the storytelling is actually really good. And of course, the big twist was when you saw them actually interacting with, let's not spoil it, but with other, I
think it's all right. It's been a minute.
Can we?
The spoiler of
bar goes over. When they actually found like the Ark and they saw the Transformers had landed there before them, the Autobots and the Decepticons.
That blew my mind when that happened.
That was like one of the very first iterations in cartoons where you're like, oh my God, this is a shared universe. It's not a separate thing. It's bound within the same world. They're just living by a different rule because Earth wasn't terraformed for them enough. And I thought that was fantastic. That's when you knew the storytelling.
I love the fact that they had a reason to be animals.
Yeah.
You like that have the animal modes. It's missing from the most recent Rise of the Beasts. I'm pretty sure they don't really have any reason to be a gorilla other than they landed there and decided, well, I should be a gorilla. It's sort of really arbitrary where they could have just been like, give us the same logic. They weren't ready for it.
It would have been nice to at least touch upon the reasonings behind why they were beasts and animals. But the fact that they were there, it's one of those things where I don't feel like they have talented enough storytellers behind the scenes at Paramount to give us that complex of a story just yet. But I'm hoping that they recognize that with this iteration of Rise of the Beasts, because it was supposed to be Rise of the Beasts, talking about the movie, but we didn't see why. We didn't get enough of them. They didn't give us enough of a story behind them. And I feel like the next movie is going to be like, all right, well, we're just going to kind of feed upon that and then move forward with the Transformers without the backstory that we needed for the Beast Machines.
Yeah. I'm a bit worried about going off on a tangent already about these movies, but the inclusion of G.I. Joe sort of just makes me think we're going to get less character development like we seem to always get in these movies with the Transformers, and it be driven by the humans again rather than have fully formed characters for the Transformers.
So yes, I feel you on that. Definitely, Doctor. Thank you so much for joining us today. I have this pain in my back, and I really don't.
DVH is fine. We're comfortable here. Yeah,
Doctor.
Not so formal.
I love the doctor. Just calling him Doctor. That's just magnificent. Doctor of Transformers. Sorry, tangent. But yeah, it's one of those things too. Also, where there was a I don't want to say mistake, but a missed opportunity in the prior movies where instead of them messing around with the human military like they did, why not use G.I. Joe? It's going to be the same universe anyway. So it feels like they're going to just kind of learn from that. But I think they're just going to redo what we've seen, but with G.I. Joe instead of the human element that they played with before.
I'm gonna shout out some newcomers to the chat. We got Triple G Comics. I actually got to be chime in, or I actually got to join the chat tonight. I was there for a little bit.
Yeah.
We got Kenneth Bird. Hi to everyone here tonight. We got Flo Dameron. He says he's watching Transformers tonight. He also says sadly with the movies they never go full reboot. Yeah. And he says let's go of Prime and let go of Prime and he says let go of Prime and Bumblebee. And then Flo also says that's Doctor to you, sir.
Doctor, I'm telling you, we have to address the Doctor accordingly, right? And that's how we're supposed to do it, Doctor. Von who? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm mocking. I feel bad.
No, it's cool. It's fine. What Triple G has just said in the chat. 100% agree. I want this more than anything.
Now, was Mask part of Hasbro? I forgot.
It wasn't, but they now own Kenner. and Kenner was Mask, so they do own Mask.
Hold on. Then, if that's the
so
case,
it could be doable. Like,
if
it could
that's
happen.
the case, Mask should bleed into Star Wars, and Star Wars toys were Kenner, and it's just a nice shared universe now, right?
Well, the thing about Mask is, like, it sort of really makes sense because they're fundamentally like cars and vehicles that transform.
Yeah.
And like it works. Like, it could be the G.I. Joe's way of tackling the Transformer problem.
Yeah.
And it revives the franchise effectively, because like, no, they're not doing anything with Mask at the moment, I don't think. So there hasn't been a toy line in forever.
But it's funny because the Mask is like the leader of the Mask. It was Cobra Commander. It was essentially, he was Cobra, same colors, same type of mask. It was just the blending of the two worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it could work really well. I don't want to see it.
Tate Prime says he watched Transformers last night. As a kid that watched the cartoon religiously, this is the first time I felt that same excitement and passion that I haven't felt in decades. He gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Unfortunately, it's not available to stream here until, I want to say, August 9th. So I'm still waiting to see it again. I saw it at the cinema, but I want to see it again soon.
I haven't watched it yet either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I've watched it twice. I saw it twice in the movie theater. The first time because I wanted to. The second time was for Father's Day. My kids were like, Dad likes Transformers. We're going to take him to go watch Transformers. I don't care if he's seen it or not. Now, story-wise, let's be honest. Story-wise, it could have been better, right?
Yeah.
I would have enjoyed it if there was more weight behind some of the things that they brought on screen. However, visually, it was really cool to me, who was a G1 fan. I'm like you. I'm totally like you, Tony. I'm a G1 guy. So there was a lot of imagery that happened in this movie that spoke to me, where I caught it. I was talking to some of my friends, talking to my kids about it. I was like, when they did this was a callback to G1. When they did that, it was a callback to G1. There was a lot of very small things in the movie that if you're a diehard G1 fan, you will catch. At the very beginning of the movie, when they introduce Unicron, there's no spoiler here. You already know Unicron's in it.
Yeah,
but when they introduce Unicron during the opening sequence, during the opening credits, there is a slight nod to when Unicron was coming through in the Transformer movie. Like, there was certain sounds and a bit of the music that came by.
Yeah, they used the same music sting, and it's amazing. Like,
yeah,
I got like goosebumps thinking about it just then, let alone in the cinema. I'm like, holy shit.
Yes.
It's Unicron.
Yes. It was like, by the way, Unicron's like my favorite villain in Transformers just because of the scope behind him. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Megatron and Galvatron, but Unicron was just so menacing. I was afraid of him, genuinely afraid that he was going to come back, because if he came back and merged with Cybertron, it would have been over with. So he was totally menacing. I loved Unicron.
Tate Prime says VPN, DVH, they are amazing for watch other countries' content. I don't know much about that, but I've heard people say the VPN stuff.
I used to do that kind of thing, but because Netflix is like bypasses them now, there's not that much point, and we get most content straight away. So it's not like it used to be when we had to wait 2 years for a film to come out.
Well, here in the States, Rise of the Beast isn't even on Netflix. It's actually on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, it's Paramount Plus now. Yeah.
So, like,
I heard that.
And I think it's going to be them first.
Yeah.
I'm not. Go ahead, DVH.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I'm getting it as soon as it comes out, just because I really want to watch it again. And that's Bumblebee. I was the same, but other than that, since the other Michael Bay movies, I never get that feeling of like, I want to watch this. Like, I know it's not. I was very critical of it, and I still am, but that doesn't mean I didn't get something from it. And I like Transformers. It feels like a Transformers film.
I'm with you.
Enough,
Tate says best soundtrack, that '90s hip hop was so perfect. Now I don't know if he's talking about Rise of the Beast or the Beast Wars.
Yeah,
it has to be. It has to be Rise
banging.
of the Beast. Oh,
it has an amazing soundtrack.
It's very similar to how the 1986 soundtrack came out, with like very rock heavy, very of the time.
Okay.
And the Transformer cartoon movie had like probably the best soundtrack ever.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
This tries to mimic it in a sense that it just tries to bring out all the best 90s hip hop from 1994. And there were some things in there I was like, dude, that song didn't come out in 94. It came out in 95. Yeah. Like, hold on. That song didn't come out until 96. Relax now, you know? So there was, but they did pick out like some of the top and best hip hop of its era and played it in this movie and reintroduced it to a crowd.
Oh, it's cool. Banging soundtrack. Like really, really great. That's like my era of hip hop as well. So it's like it is for a lot of people, I guess. So it makes sense.
Yeah. I want to say hello to Dave's Comics and Wrestling. Thanks for joining us, Dave. So y'all got anything y'all want to show off?
I've got loads of stuff around.
I was going to say I'm going to go last. But who wants to go first?
What have I got near me? Oh, just because.
Doctor, you want to go first?
This has been on the channel already, but this is my one and only Peter Cullen signature. And
let me swear,
he's written Optimus Prime underneath it as well. So,
dang it! Do I have to bring down my toys to show off? Is that what we're doing?
Well, I've got some. Let's have a look.
I'm gonna have to run upstairs. There's a couple of things that I have upstairs.
To Retro Rocket Comics, they sent me this the other day.
Oh,
it's really cool.
Like really, that really right cool. There. That right there brings me back to the perfect generational trauma. When
oh my god,
I have a theory. I have a theory that Transformers really resonated with people because of that scene. And I mean, like the reason it stuck around forever is because Prime died, and there was a whole generation of people that was scarred by it, and they care. Like they really care about him. And this is just so cool. Like,
I cried as a kid. I cried.
Yeah, I'm right with you.
Yeah,
I like. People like parents actually wrote into Paramount and into Hasbro, how dare you make my child cry? Why would you do this? They were
not happy.
You know, they tried so hard to try to bring him back too.
And that outcry also caused them to change the how Duke's fate in the G.I. Joe movie.
Because Duke should have died.
Yeah.
That snake went right through his heart. He should have died.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
It was entirely the plot point of that whole film.
That is cool.
It is really cool. My friend bought me this, and I couldn't be happier to have it. It's a beaut.
That's the first time I've seen that.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've never transformed him though, and I really want to. But I'm not an inbox collector for most stuff, but because it's in the old retro style packaging and that, I just love it. It's great.
Yeah, Iman, I'm gonna have comics and toys, and I'm gonna show off something I got for my birthday later.
I want to see that. I was like, wait, hold on. Is this a mega happy toy that we're getting here, Tony?
Yeah. Now that one I wanted so bad. I actually pre-ordered at Hasbro. I had a problem with the payment, and then when I tried to fix it, they had sold out.
In return, I bought my friend this and myself because like they sort of go together. If you like, I dig them. This one though is like slightly higher quality, I would say, to Gigawatt, but they're very nice. And then
hold on,
of the latest series, which I wanted to talk about.
So how do I pronounce your name? Is it Iman or Eman?
Eman.
Okay.
Eman, like
I got to do it. I got to do it right. What you got there, Doc?
This is Tom. You familiar with Tom?
I am not familiar with Tom.
Okay, so he's a character that was created for the IDW run of comics. He's the head of the Decepticon Justice Division, and basically they're a bit like the Decepticons version of the Gestapo, and they go around like killing absolutely anything that blinks, like and particularly Decepticons that have defected, so like they're utterly ruthless. And I can't believe they made a toy of Tom, because it's quite an adult character in the comics. So it's really cool to finally have one. This is an official release that came out, and then this one, which is this one just blew me away that they finally released a G-Axis, which
wow,
yeah, it's amazing. G-Axis, if you're not familiar, he was a character from the G2 comic book.
Yeah,
he was like the main villain in the G2 comic, and the G2 comics 12 issues or something. It's really short.
Yeah, it was 12 issues.
They never had a G-Axis toy up until this point that was like comic accurate as much as you're gonna get it. And it's just so cool that they're doing this now with the Legacy line and Earthrise.
I was gonna say, I've never seen him. I never knew how to pronounce his name either.
yeah. Well, and this is my absolute favorite of the recent releases.
Oh man, that is pretty.
Yeah, I absolutely love Jetfire.
Oh man,
he's just so cool. Like, and I mean, he wasn't cheap, but I thought, I didn't have Jetfire as a kid. I got it much when I was in my teens. I got a broken one, but like this is like cartoon accurate. Love it.
Did you have the original Jetfire that was pretty much the Macross version?
Yeah, I got that in my teens.
Yeah. That Macross version was like it was so confusing to a lot of us, because we're like, wait a minute, this isn't what Jetfire looks like. But then people who know Macross and Robotech, they're like, well, this is a Robotech toy, and it's a repaint, and there's so much controversy behind it.
Yeah, it's absolutely mad what happened. I think that'll do for me, Tony. I think you've seen all my best stuff that I've got to hand.
Well, before I switch it to E-Man, I'm gonna go back to the chat for a second, because David pointed out something about I want to get my hands on the Jurassic Park Transformers figures. I didn't know they made Jurassic Park Transformers.
Yeah,
out of the Explorer.
Yeah, and it's there's a T-Rex which is using the Beast Wars Megatron mold.
Okay,
and it's in a 2-pack. And there's another one, I think, like a one-off you can get.
Tate said he got the Jetfire the X-Jet Blackbird. Well, that was Jetfire for Revenge of the Fallen, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, they actually released the X-Jet. Like it was a actual X-Men X-Jet that transformed. I didn't buy that, but I think they used the mold for the one that you're talking about, and it looked cool, cool as hell, but I didn't fancy it. I'm all about robot modes at the moment. For some reason, I want the robot mode to look right, and that Jetfire does it for me, because he looks amazing.
Looks just like the cartoons. So dope.
Yeah.
Fanboy Prime said he just picked up a Legacy Dirge. So happy to finally have him after missing out on the Amazon exclusive. I didn't know there was an Amazon exclusive. So there's a lot of stuff I didn't know.
There is tons of exclusives and stuff. They're going crazy, and they have been for like the last 2 years.
Keep up with them.
You can't. It's impossible, and you'd be broke. I mean, I would be.
It's like comics. It's like comics, or children. You can only choose two, and if you got kids, it's like, damn it.
Tate says, "Thank you guys so much for covering this. Exactly what I needed when still on the high from the movie."
Nice, good job, Tate.
My buddy Tim says, if Duke would have died in the animated G.I. Joe movie, fans would have rioted. Although he spoiler died in live action G.I. Joe movie, and it seemed no one really cared about it due to who was cast.
That's so true. That is so true.
It is.
Okay, cool. He's dead. Done. Don't have to deal with that. However, here's the thing that's messed up. We give Channing Tatum so much flack. I'm not gonna lie. I've watched the what is it called? The the dancing movies that the Magic
Oh,
Mike.
Magic Mike.
I shit you not, those movies are entertaining.
I love those movies.
They are so funny.
The bits with Kevin Nash not dancing in the background is amazing. He's just sort of stood there doing this.
Yes.
Well, see, I just want to see him just because I haven't seen him, but I want to see him because of Gabriel Iglesias.
Why? What did he say?
Well, no. I mean, he was in. I know he was in the first one. He was the
right.
DJ. He was in the DJ in the back. He does a comedy bit about it.
It's a load of fun.
And you know what?
If you open to that kind of thing.
And Channing Tatum was entertaining as AF in the 21 and 22 Jump Street movies.
Those
two movies
I'm a big Chan fan. Like, I'm all about the Chan man.
But like
he's great in those Jump Street movies. They're really entertaining.
Like, I don't know. There was just some things that you loved him in, some things you hated him in. I don't know.
Well, hey, man, the focus is on you. So I'm gonna steal a line from Chris, the comic vet, and say, "Show us what you got."
Oh man! All right, so let me. I didn't know they were going to show off our toys. I have like quite a few things that I would have loved to have showed off, but I just jumped in and I said, "Let's play." So just real fast, I have this Optimus Prime print right here. This is from John Jang. Yep, yeah. This is the John Jang one. He has it signed, so I have it signed right here in this little area. So, and I picked this up at the Fan Expo San Francisco just last year. I was like, you know what? I don't have this. Let me get this from. Oh no! I picked this one up at Short Box Live earlier this year, and it was so cool because I purchased this from John and a couple of other things. He ended up giving my daughter one of his Miles Morales prints. He's like, don't worry about it, man. Like, I got you. Like, it was really, really cool just meeting John Jang. Like, John Jang is a friend of the show, and I freaking love that guy. In fact, that he hooked up my daughter with something that she wanted after I had purchased other things just made him just that much more of like, I just want to support him as much as I can, you know?
Yeah, he's super cool.
So this is like my favorite John Jang thing because it's Optimus. Now this right here, this right here, this is that tin from AMC movies. This is actually a
the popcorn
tin.
Bucket.
Yeah, the popcorn bucket. Yeah. I got some stuff on it. I don't want to break it down, but yeah, that's the popcorn bucket.
That's insane.
My girlfriend was like, "How much was that?" I was like, $35 with points, and it came with popcorn and a soda. She goes, oh, "Okay, well, it's you, so it makes sense." I'm like, "Yeah." I had to say the word, and it came with points. Otherwise, it just would have $50 would have been a little too much, you know. I have quite a few things that are here that I do want to show off. So one of the things is like one of my bigger toys. This is the Optimus Prime Energon toy. So this is from the Energon series. This is from the Unicron trilogy. The Energon series is the second series. So I think it was Armada, Energon, and then Unicron, I think, was the third one, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
This is from that second iteration. And I found this like at a Ross for like $15.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, I'm going to get that. I'm totally getting that.
Oh, you've just reminded me of something. We'll do this afterwards, but try and think of your best Transformers find, like the cheapest deal you've got, because I've got one that is amazing that I've just popped into my head.
You're probably going to win. I mean, that's the only thing that I can really think of. This right here is actually a third-party Optimus Prime. And it does transform into the truck. I haven't done it yet because it looks almost genuine like the G1 Transformer Optimus Prime version. And he's got some like really good points of articulation. So it's like I can totally pose him in like quite a few different poses. Not like.
Do you know which brand it is?
I forgot. I really forgot. I have the box inside somewhere. But I won this from one of those waffles on Facebook. I was a part of I'm a part of a Transformers group on Facebook, and I ended up winning this. And I actually met the guy at the Toy Expo in Las Vegas like 3 years ago. And I have something cool to show you from that. But like from 3 years ago, I met the guy who was giving this away, and he was like super, super cool.
Nice.
Real quick, Shop wants to know if we've talked about how awesome Grimlock is yet.
Dude, we haven't yet.
That's coming. That's coming.
We can do that.
Dude,
that's coming.
I'm gonna just say this now. Seeing it live at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh yeah.
Telling you. I have quite a few of these world's smallest Transformers.
Oh yeah.
So cool. Like I have the Optimus Prime version, and then I have the Nemesis Prime.
Nemesis. Oh,
yep. Cool. Nemesis Prime right here. Or Scourge. Like there's some people call him Scourge, some people call him Nemesis. That's why like when they announced Scourge was going to be in Rise of the Beast, I was expecting that. I was expecting you know, like an actual Optimus Prime like clone, because that's who Scourge was in Robots in Disguise. He was created from Optimus's DNA, so to speak.
Yeah.
This thing is all messed up. This thing has fallen apart several times, but I really enjoy putting some of these models together. And this is the Furai Hot Flames Optimus from the Shattered Glass universe, and I just loved his design. This thing has fallen so many times off my shelf. That's why he's missing so many pieces. But yeah, the Shattered Glass Optimus Prime, I just like his design. I just enjoy it. And in fact, I commissioned someone to create a Shattered Glass Optimus Prime like original art for me, so I'm waiting for that to come in. Nice. When it comes in, I'm going to show you guys for sure. Like I really want to show you.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to guarantee everyone here that I'm a bigger Transformer dork than anyone. Okay. And I will prove it. Okay. You guys are ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to show you. This is RC, right?
Yeah.
You know, RC from the movie, you know. Yeah. I collect RC. I collect RC. You know, this is even like the chibi version of RC. Yeah. You know, this is really cute. My daughter's name is Eris RC. Eris from Final Fantasy VII, RC from the Transformers. Her very first name. I'm one of those weird Filipino parents that gave his child like 2 first names, and her legal first name is Eris RC. So when I took her to go watch Rise of the Beast, anytime RC was on the screen, I can hear my daughter. I was like, yes, she knows.
That's awesome.
And then you talked about the Transformers Prime cartoon a little bit earlier. My daughter and I watched that whole thing together, and she loved that version of RC as well because she was strong. She was second in command. Yeah. Like it showed that a female can be a strong leader, and she was like, I love that about her. So RC to me and what it teaches my daughter, supreme. I absolutely love her.
That's very cool.
And this isn't even the RC collection I have. I literally have about 20 pieces of RC somewhere in the house. Oh, wow. Like they're all just a bunch of different versions of her, like 3 different Prime versions, like even a couple of the movie versions in the box. They're not the prettiest ones, but I have RC. This is another third-party Transformer. Now this is right here. This is Ultra Magnus's version. They call him City Commander.
Yeah.
And this one transforms also into the truck, and his gun right here also transforms into like 2 smaller pieces of guns or whatever. It's a little flimsy, but just the design of the.
Hey, it was either going to happen.
I meant to do that.
It was either going to happen to you or me, man.
Yeah,
that's the life of a Transformers fan. That is guns falling out of hands.
This dude is pretty badass though. City Commander's his name, and like that's just Ultra Magnet. Now here's the thing. I'm only collecting 4 Transformers, maybe even a 5th one if I can get my hands on Unicron, but I'm only collecting Optimus, RC, Bumblebee, and Ultra Magnus because that represents my family in my eyes. I'm Optimus.
Yeah.
My oldest son, that's my second in command. That's Ultra Magnus. My son, my 20-year-old, that's my scout. That's my little guy. He's Bumblebee. And then, of course, my daughter's RC. So, like, I only collect those 4. Plus, like, if I can get my hands on the HasLab Unicron, I will add that to my collection.
Oh, my God.
I will add that to my collection. Some San Diego Comic-Con goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
There it is.
And I don't have no clever video to play. I don't have a mat surfing or anything like that.
How about some more San Diego Comic-Con goodness?
Yeah.
Oh man.
And these aren't even like the cream of the crop. I got one better for you. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
Right? I've seen it. Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it. So I don't know, Tony. If you let me go ahead and show everyone else the jam piece that I've started.
It's so cool.
Oh wow.
Alan Qua. This is Steven Segovia. That's Frank Cho. Hold on. I asked this guy to do this on the front. He's like, there's no room on the front. I'm like, all right, screw it. Just do it on the back. So, okay, JR, you can do it on the back.
That's so cool.
Oh,
John Romita Jr.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Stepped out of his element and was like, you know what? Screw it. Show me a picture.
Was that the one that you did a post saying that John said that they don't do the head right?
Yeah. John Romita Jr. is like, why did they create his helmet like that? Like, I don't understand why his helmet looks like that. I'm like, that's a fantastic question. You're the artist and professional. I just accept things for what they are. And everyone has a holy grail, right? Everyone has a holy grail. You know, a lot of people. Do you have one? You know, everyone's got one in one way. I already have my holy grail, you guys. I'm one of the lucky humans in the world who says, you know what? Everything else is a bonus. This is the one ultimate piece of my collection. I've shared this before in the past. This is a G1 Transformer Optimus Prime. Hold on. Signed by Peter Cullen right there.
Nice.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
Yeah, I think we have a winner there. That's pretty special.
Bam.
I don't think I'm going to top that.
Bam, that's my baby, right? No, it takes time for this though, Tony. It takes time. You know, it takes a long time to do things like this. But yeah, I got super lucky. I got this VIP pass to Las Vegas Comic-Con a few years back, and I have this sign. I have a Megatron bus sign, which I've shown you, Tony. You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
And then I have a Transformer #1 and Transformer #2, the Gallagher covers signed by Peter Cullen and by Frank Welker.
Oh man,
that's all I have. I hope that was enough for the show. Is that good enough for the show?
Oh yeah, that's good. I'm sitting here smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, like I'm going full on Durs mode here. Like,
yeah. I just wish I had some clever videos to play because I mean, damn, that man.
Yeah, that's one of my grails at the moment. Is I want a comic that's dual signed with Frank Welker, and I mean, because the Cullen one is amazing that I've got, but I want both of them on the same thing as well. I'm shooting for that.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
My question is, when E-Man gets back, my question is where am I going to start? Because, well, I guess while he's doing that, I'll show my new comic book day pickups for this week that are not Transformers related. I got ASM, the new ASM. I'm really looking forward to reading that. The What If Dark, Gwen Stacy.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Big Game #1.
That's really good. I really like that.
I still got to get a copy of Nightclub #6. They didn't have any.
Right.
I got Void Rivals #2. Still looking for. I'm still looking for issue 1. Nobody around here has it, and I'm trying. I'm gonna try to get both of the second print Jetfire covers.
I know I have a first print that I'll send to you because I'm going to send you something anyway. I'll put it in there. Like,
oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I overbought, so I've got a few copies of that.
We got Scorched and King Spawn and Gunslinger because I love my Spawn, but I'm with Durs. Gunslinger's my favorite.
Yeah.
And then I got Something That's Killing the Children.
Yeah, I'm with you with Gunslinger. Gunslinger's the man.
My top five books. My top 5 books I always look forward to is All the Spawn and Something That's Killing the Children. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you this since it's not Transformers related. Tomorrow I'm dropping an Amazon unboxing video. I use rewards points from work that I can turn into Amazon gift card points. And this was inspired by Mike Spider Slayer because he was the guy that I seen this first. And every time I tried to get it, I either didn't have the money or they had sold it. And this is statute number 3. And
that's crazy.
It is Venom. I got this puppy for $41 on Amazon. Well, actually, it didn't cost.
That can't have been cheap. Surely, like that seems really, really cheap for a.
Yeah,
statue. And that's crazy.
Yeah, I seen it go all the way up to 70, and I was waiting, and then because originally I was going to get a Drist Guinevere Hasbro set, and then when I seen this, I was like, no, I'm buying this.
Yeah, that's
so cool. I had to get that. That's my 3rd statue in my collection. So I mean, I never planned on buying statues, but it just happened.
It happens.
But as far as that goes, I'm gonna wait for E-Man to get back before I start on the other stuff.
Here he is.
Oh, there he is. What's he got?
Can I show you a few more things? just a few.
I was gonna say, did you want to see this, E-Man? I just talked about this Venom statue I got.
That is so sick.
I got this for $41 on Amazon, and actually, it didn't. Here's the thing.
Crazy cheap.
But here's the thing. Like I just said earlier, I use Amazon gift card points from work, so it didn't cost me a dime.
Oh my god! Yeah, if you can use points to get cool stuff, do it.
That was my birthday present to myself.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Yes, that is awesome, dude. Oh my god, that Venom is so badass.
Let me make you big again. And my buddy Tim says something kind of interesting in the comics and cartoon series. I remember Cliff Jumper being red in color, but the toy I had was actually yellow like Bumblebee. Was that a mistake by Hasbro? Probably, because there was a Cliff Jumper figure toy as well.
There was one version that was yellow that in the first, I want to say, year of release with Cliff Jumper. But there's also one that's both of them together. So it's like a manufacturing error, which is like, they nicknamed it Bumble Jumper. And it had both like the front end and back end were wrong. So that's an even rarer version of it.
It's nothing like what they did with Rumble and Frenzy. Like
no,
Rumble and Frenzy, the toy were set in stone. That was their names. It was the cartoon and the producers of the cartoon that messed that one up. So
show us what you got.
Last couple of things. So here's that Megatron bust. I will show you.
Yeah.
Signed by Frank Welker.
Yeah.
There you go.
Megatron. Don't throw away your life so recklessly, Prime. And it's not even open. I didn't even open it. It's still in the box. So
there you go.
Megatron fans, watch out. And so I told you guys about the Transformer #1 and #2. This is the Gallagher versions. So I have Soundwave, who was voiced by Frank Welker, signed by Frank Welker.
Yeah.
Yep.
Soundwave inferior, Constructicons. Oh wait, Soundwave superior, Constructicons inferior. And then that Transformers #1, Gallagher, signed right there. Peter Welker.
Tremendous.
Oh, hold on. You're talking about something signed by both of them? How about Transformers #1 signed by both of them right there?
Oh,
Frank Welker, Peter Cullen. And here's the best part. This is the best part to me. You know why? It'll keep me in check. I will never sell this unless I have to or I pass it down to my kids. Yeah. But because it's a 7.0, I know no one wants a 7.0. They want the 9.8. They want the 9.0. This 7.0 right here, I'm never going to get a good deal for it. And that's okay because this is going to be a part of my collection. This is part of the PC. This will never leave me unless something major happens and I have to give it up or whatever. But this isn't something that I'm looking forward to selling because it keeps me in check right there.
That's a key part.
Well, my question is, I don't know where to start because I've got comics and toys.
Do them both. Do a combination of both. Show us everything.
Well, I'm not going to show all my all the toys because I've got like 10 sitting over here that I'm saving because me and Scotty's been talking about his new show, and I want to say something for his show.
There you go.
So I'm gonna start. I'll go ahead and start with the toys first. First, we got a G1 Soundwave because, and I kept them all in their secondary forms because they're not complete. Funny thing is about this Soundwave, I got him for $40 on eBay, and it said complete. It said complete, and when I bought him, it is complete because I got all the weapons somewhere and they're packed away. But I was like, it's not complete because I don't see buzzsaw. And because, Soundwave came to buzzsaw.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went and found a buzzsaw for $10 and got it and put it in there. So now mine is complete. Shop, here you go, buddy. The mightiest Transformer of all. And these are all original.
King.
And these are all original G1s.
Oh, so sick.
All right. Then we've got Hot Rod.
Classic.
Yeah. Nice.
And although he's not complete because he's missing this little yellow thing, we've got
Rodimus.
So we got that. That's my G1 stuff.
I always thought Rodimus was really like an odd choice as like the lead. Like he's a Winnebago. Like that just seems like.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. I always wanted this when I was a kid. I never got it, but when I transformed him, I was like, really? That is depressing. I mean, his robot form is really accurate, but it's just not really,
They were cheating on it. They're skimming on that one. It just slots in.
Yeah. A lot of third parties, though, have just Rodimus without the trailer. There's a couple of third-party Rodimus Primes that actually are cartoon accurate. They look great, just like the Optimus one that I have. Great points of articulation. I'd probably look those up, too.
Oh, yeah. The new range, which I've got down there, has G1 accurate modern version of it, and it looks fantastic, but the transformation is a nightmare.
Yeah.
So the next one, we're getting bigger. I got this one originally. A buddy of mine, I'll DVH this in the back. He was going to sell it to me for $30, and then I ended up with one of those titanium series Scourges, and he wanted me to trade that to him for this figure, and I went, yeah, sure, because he said he couldn't find it anywhere. So we did the trade, and then I went down to the other Walmart that was in town and found this titanium Scourge. But we've got the biggest Starscream I have.
That is sick. Where is he from?
This was Transformer Cybertron.
Okay. Yeah. This is the one where this is the one where he actually grew, right? And he was supposed to go up against one of the combiners, right?
I think. This is it came with two of these, and I only have one. This one, when I put him on the arms, it brings out the weapons, and then there's another one that if you do something, it makes the weapons glow or something like that. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
See, a lot of people didn't like the Unicron trilogy, and to me, I'm like, it's still Transformers, you guys. Like, the story is okay, and I get it, but the Unicron trilogy was dope. Armada, Energon, and Cybertron. They were fun.
And next up, like I said, they're getting bigger. These are the only two in-box Transformers I have. We have a combination Star Wars, Millennium Falcon, Han Solo, and Chewbacca.
I saw
this
those.
This was a Christmas gift from my mom and my stepdad.
That is so sick.
And I've hit that little try me button so many times that it doesn't light up anymore. The battery ran down. And this is the big boy. I got this. I wanted it so bad and never really had the money to get it. It went on clearance at Walmart. My buddy got it for me for my birthday years ago. Still in the box. Here we go.
It's really awesome.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
One of the things I always thought was cool, if you look on the packaging, it's got the black Unicron from Energon, but it's the G1. He's the color of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, but I've never opened that one up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get to the comics, then I'll get to the unveiling. Now, my Transformers #1 ain't as cool as yours, Iman, but I got this one from the 90s, and I had it cleaned and pressed. We actually thought, me and the guy, Greg, that pressed it, thought this thing was going to come back at a 3. It came back at a 7. So
that's a great result.
Still, yeah. That is awesome.
He cleaned and pressed the hell out of this thing, and I actually, when I did my CBCS unboxing video, I did like a pre-video, and then I unveiled the grades. In the pre-video, I said that this would come back as the lowest grade. And then when I actually unboxed it and showed the grade, I was shocked. So, I mean, that was pretty cool. And as you can tell, I'm segueing into my favorite Marvel, or my favorite Transformers comics, because I got a stack here. And we're starting with Marvel now. Dreamwave, I collected the Generation 1 first series and our first few issues of Armada. And I got all but the last issue of the first series of War Within. I did not get a lot of the IDW stuff. I got the Regeneration 1. And I really need to go back. I'm wanting to go back since with the exception of the 4 issues of G.I. Joe and a couple specials, that one for Generation 2 and Generation 1 that I never knew existed, I have pretty much everything from the United States. But as far as Marvel goes, so really going through here and picking the ones that I really, really like, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to pick a few that are my favorite stories from the Marvel comics. And yeah, I ended up with a stack. So if you're going to show off some favorite books, we got to do the one with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, what that glare. This is my favorite cover out of the entire Marvel run. I want to get this in a better grade. This book is beat all the hell because I've had it since the 80s. And it has been well read. And coincidentally, every one of my G1 80 issue series is in Mylar. Okay. Here's issue 6 where Shockwave fights Megatron for the leadership of the Decepticons. We got Dinobots.
Classic. I want that one. I've got to get that graded at some point.
Now, this is my favorite cover, and it's actually my favorite favorite part of the. I always considered the first 12 issues like a big story arc. That it really kicked in at issue 5 when Shockwave basically wiped everybody out, took over the art, had Prime's head mounted for the Creation Matrix. Buster ended up with it. We saw Jetfire in issue 11, which I didn't show. And then this one. There we go. I love this cover.
Yeah.
They do a thing where Shockwave makes a false Optimus Prime head, puts it on. It ends up on the body, and they start attacking Autobots. And then when the real head gets on there, he starts wiping out the Decepticons. It was pretty cool.
I mean, one can say that's like the origin right there of Nemesis Prime. Yeah, I mean that. Right. At least that's what the idea came from.
Now, long before I started collecting comics in 1987, this was the first Transformers comic I ever bought.
Is that the actual copy as well?
This is the actual copy.
Wow,
that's
crazy.
This one's been well loved. And it's funny because they go to a rock concert. I think the guy's name was like Bruce Springhorn or something. It's supposed to be Bruce Springsteen.
Really subtle.
This one is one of the most underrated stories, I think, out of the whole series. And this was basically a solo story featuring Bumblebee. And the story goes that he decides to leave the Autobots because he thinks he's the weakest member. And then he finds out just how important to the Autobots he is, because all the Decepticons decide to try to take him out. All right, jumping ahead, I'll try to keep story time to a minimum. We've got the first death of Optimus Prime in the comics, where him and Megatron duel in a video game thing for this piece of equipment they're trying to get from this guy. Of course, Prime wins, but he didn't save some video game innocence. So because what it is him and Megatron are strapped to to a button where if you push them, they'll blow up. And so he says since he didn't protect the innocent people of the video game, that he lost. And anyway, he had the guy blow him up. And this was the first death of Megatron. He fights the Predacons because Shockwave sends them to kill him, and he thinks they're Autobots at first. This is really good.
I've always wanted the Predacons. They were never released in Europe, so it's a bit of a holy grail for me. The Predacons are amazing.
And that was the Predacons' first appearance as well. Now these two, for a couple issues, they reprinted a couple of books from the Transformers UK, and this was the Man of Iron. I actually like these books, so I always like those. Okay, this is the introduction to the Headmasters in the regular series. Got Fortress Maximus and Scorponok on the cover.
Nice.
Then we've got now Prime blew up, but that kid had saved his mind and conscious on a floppy disk. So the Autobots get a hold of this floppy disk, and Bumblebee and them go to Nebulous to try to build another body. So we end up with Power Master Optimus Prime.
Power Master was from G2, wasn't it? Where his
it was still G1 technically. Yeah. Just never happened in the cartoon.
The cartoon, okay.
But
I think didn't they do Power? Did they do Power Master? No, they just did the Headmasters in season 4. I didn't know if they did Power Master.
No, they didn't do Power Masters.
All right, now this is the only comic book adaptation from Generation 1 that was from a cartoon, and it was believe, if I'm not mistaken, the episode that they did an adaptation of was the big broadcast of 2006, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
This is the only time they ever took an episode of the cartoon and put it into a comic.
That's interesting.
Okay. I love Starscream. He's my favorite Decepticon. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because he's a backstabbing bastard, but I love him. I'm going to get this copy. I just bought now. I've got my original newsstand put up, but I've just bought this one because the other one's been beat all to hell. I'm going to get this one clean pressed and graded because I think this will come back at a good grade. But we got Transformers number 50, where Starscream got the underbase and basically became a god and slaughtered everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He slaughtered, off the top of my head, I can't remember everybody he killed. I mean, the Autobots and Decepticons joined forces to fight him. And I know he killed the Aerobots and Omega Supreme for sure.
Man, see, that's one thing I never did, because I was such a diehard G1 cartoon fan. I never read any of the comics, and it's one of those things where I feel like I'm missing out by not reading the comics.
I'm more or less the same. I have read the comics, but since, as a kid, I used to read the UK version every now and again, my friends would get it. But because it was bi-weekly, we had it all the time in school. Wow. So, yeah. But, I'm really not... I don't remember the comics as well as the cartoon. So this is pretty interesting because, I know some of the key points, but which issues of which and stuff is so cool.
The next one I'm going to show, I'm just showing you for the cover, not the cover itself, but who did the cover. And this is issue 53. And this is a cover done by Jim Lee.
What?
Crazy.
Yep.
Jim Lee did a Transformers cover?
Jim Lee did too.
Man, that would have been... See, to me, that would be such an awesome thing to have in the collection, signed by Jim Lee.
Yeah,
exactly.
That would be cool.
If I ever get to meet Jim, I'm having him sign it.
Yeah. Sure.
Now, this one I did. I was hoping Scotty would have been here because he could have appreciated the horror aspect of this. Grimlock's on the cover, but this is when when they turned him into a pretender as part of that Creation Matrix storyline.
Yeah.
I figured Scotty would have loved this one just for the horror cover.
Oh, it's a cool cover.
Creation Matrix. Talk to me about that. What is that?
Well, there was it's called the Matrix Quest. It's been 20 years since I've read these, but they go looking for, because for the longest time in the earlier episode comics, there was no Autobot Matrix of leadership. They had that Creation Matrix at the beginning. Prime had it. He zapped it to Buster during the first 12 issues, and then Prime got it back. There really was no Creation or Autobot Matrix of leadership. Then they did this Matrix Quest storyline, and I don't know. I've forgotten so much about this. But basically, they're going and looking for the Matrix of leadership. Oh, man. And here is the other Jim Lee cover.
That's so awesome. That's iconic.
Is that Galvatron?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Galvatron
Jim Lee Galvatron?
In the comic books, Unicron in the comic series sends Galvatron. It takes place in the future. Galvatron and them had decimated the Earth, but Unicron ends up sending Galvatron to the current timeline of the Transformers comics, to try to get it done earlier. And then realizing that Unicron was the biggest threat and that the Autobots and Decepticons had to unite, or else Prime surrendered to Scorponok.
Right.
His helmet, his head looks way different in that. It doesn't look like Optimus at all.
Yeah, it's the Power Master version, isn't it?
It's the Power Master, yeah.
Style head.
See, and he surrendered for the hopes that they could come together and fight Unicron. And well, all right, we're coming to the end of the Marvel, but I still got a stack. I put this one on here for the cover. I just love this cover.
Yeah, that's dope.
And an important note to point out: if you're collecting if you're trying to collect the Marvel Transformer runs, I couldn't tell you which issues particularly, but when you get into the 70s issues toward the end, they're all low print runs, so they're going to cost you some money.
About how much on average?
Like
$20 and more.
40 to 70.
Oh, okay. It's just
the
run.
The last issue is, it's up there too. All right, so the next to the last issue is our 78. We got Galvatron versus Megatron. This was actually pretty interesting. So you got Galvatron from the future fighting Megatron. That was pretty cool. And then, of course, I put in this was the last issue, number 80 in a 4-issue limited series. This was This was the last issue of the regular run.
That looks like a samurai, like Rodimus Prime.
Yeah, they had a character on there. His name was Bludgeon, and even though he was a Decepticon, he had like a warrior's code of honor. It was weird, but for a Decepticon, that was weird. DVH mentioned I only picked one, so I picked the nice foily die cut.
I love that cover.
It's so
cool.
I actually have a plain newsstand version of Generation 2, number 1.
This is not your father's Transformers. Is that what it said?
Yeah, that's exactly what it said. And see, back in the 80s, if you want to know everything about Transformers, you picked up Transformers Universe.
Now, was this comic book accurate, or is this toy accurate, G1 accurate?
This was comic book accurate.
Okay.
It listed the first appearances in the comics.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. That's really cool.
It was a 4-issue miniseries. This is another 4-issue miniseries that people seem to be picking up on now.
Yeah, fortunately, I've already got that, so I'm.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna blow up.
When I started collecting the limited series, this was the first one I got, and then no, it wasn't. It was the movie. That was the second.
Yeah.
Of course, another limited series. We've got the Headmasters. I love this cover.
Yeah, it's dope.
I'd like to get that one. Get it in a slab. And then the last of the Marvels, because you can't go without talking about the movie.
The movie, yeah.
This is another one I'd like to get slabbed.
I've never read that adaptation. I'd really like to see how it sort of how faithful it is to the...
It's pretty faithful. Now there are some differences. Ultra Magnus's death is different because they actually in the comic they actually quarter him.
Right.
But oh wait a minute. Yeah, yeah. They strap a beam to each arm and leg and tear him apart.
Ah,
So, as I said before, this is the Dreamwave Transformers Generation One series. I was able to get this in second print. I've never seen the first print,
I
although I
think
may
I have
try
the
to get it
first
again.
print. I'll have to have a look.
And it's funny because this next one I'm gonna show, I intentionally grabbed the regular version because I honestly thought DVH would show his pretty shiny foil that I also have a cover copy of. But this is the
Armada.
Armada number one, and
Yeah,
and like DVH, I've got the foil as well.
the foil is crazy cool.
We got Transformers: The War Within number one.
I've got a lenticular version of that. The
I didn't know
War
that.
Within one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Transformers Regeneration 1. I love this cover of Megatron's just sitting there going, "What kept you?"
Yeah, that's awesome.
And if I'm not
That
mistaken, I believe his chair was made out of dead Autobots.
that looks like a Dinobot leg on one of those on one side
Okay.
of that.
Now, the next books I'm going to show are not mine. I bought them for my daughter. I wanted to show them because I promised her. But I made a little comment about when I did the preview for my Transformers 1 Spotlight, which I'll get. It ties into the second limited series, but we've got Transformers and My Little Pony, baby.
Yes. Isn't that drawn by Tony Fleece or Tris Forster?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually opened up a couple of them there, and it was Tony.
I posted a picture earlier today with me and Tony Fleece over there at San Diego Comic-Con too. That guy's awesome.
I got these just for my daughter, and to be honest, I'm actually kind of curious. I may have to read them.
Yeah,
now,
I want to know whether they're good. They might be awesome.
The second series, I actually, when I did that post, I said, "Come join us." No, I said, "Come join us and enjoy the magic of Cybertron." And there's the Transformers: The Magic of Cybertron series. I don't know if she's ever read these or not. I don't know if she's ever read these or not, but
from people that I know that have read them, they're actually really fun. They're super fun, very cute. Just get past the cuteness and have fun with it is what everyone says, and I'm fully prepared for it. It has My Little Pony on it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I mean, hell, when you have two daughters, you grew up watching. You watch what they watch. I mean, my oldest daughter and my youngest daughter, I watched the original Teen Titans with them. I got them both in anime. I mean, so they it's like I got them started with the anime, and my daughter watches a little bit more. She started watching Toonami. My youngest daughter just took the ball and ran with it. She has watched stuff that I've never heard of, and got me to watching like she was watching like Danganronpa and what else? Of course, the My Hero Academia stuff like that. I got her hooked on Hellsing.
Nice.
But the story is my buddy let me borrow his DVDs. I'm supposed to be watching her because she's like 4, and she had took a nap. So Daddy went into the bedroom to watch Hellsing, and I don't even know what moment it was, but something graphic happened. I heard a gasp behind me. She had come in behind me and was watching it behind me, and I never noticed it. That was her introduction to anime.
She's like stuck.
Yeah, Hellsing's not the one you want to be showing a kid at 4 years old.
Snap.
I thought my wife was gonna kill me.
Yeah.
But so that's all the stuff I've got to show off. Now I'm gonna get to some comments, and then I'll get to my unveiling, because Timothy Williams said something kind of interesting in the okay. Oh no, we already talked about that.
Yeah, we did that one.
Joseph Michaels says, "Hey Tony, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, awesome Tony. My birthday is Monday, so I'm doing everything this weekend. And to tell you how old I am, my buddy Tim put it in perspective. Happy early half a century birthday to my bro Tony Gross." And Manny the Hobgoblin says, "Good evening to all." Okay, so this is what I've been teasing on Instagram and everything. I hope it was worth the tease. So when I went to my LCS about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I seen this. And I went, oh my God, I was trying to figure out how to get the money myself to buy it. I figured I'd save up my birthday money. Well, my dad came over while I was playing D&D, and I was talking about this, and he went with me Friday afternoon to go do. I went and did my grocery shopping, picked up my books. He went with me to pick up something for me for my birthday, and he bought this. So, without further ado, I was going to act like Starscream, but since I can't do his voice, so being Starscream and the future ruler of all, you got to keep Megatron in check. So I figured the best place to keep Megatron in check is in my trophy collection.
Nice.
It is really cool, isn't it?
That is like G1 accurate.
Oh yeah, that
pure G1.
This is why I wanted it. It was so G1 accurate that
my God.
I mean, it ain't even funny. Got a little stand, but I was like, holy hell! And Iman, you mentioned something about Holy Grails. His Generation 1 toy, I want it complete. My goal is to try to get it sometime next year because, I mean, let's be honest. An original Megatron, and I'm being picky because there's a Megatron that has the little orange thing at the end.
Yeah.
I want the original one.
They aren't releasing that again anytime soon.
No, but I want the original of that don't have the little orange thing at the end.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost me. The last time I checked, I found a complete one loose for $350.
I about 20 years ago bought one for £50, and I got it away from the con, and the arm immediately fell off because he super glued the arm to it.
Oh wow! I was going to say he was that original toy was very fragile. You had to watch it.
Yeah.
But I mean, growing up with Transformers, I had a lot of the toys. My brother had Shockwave, which I ended up getting. But I had Soundwave, Wheeljack. I could go down through the list. I did not have Starscream. I always wanted an original Starscream, which that's another one I want. I had Soundwave, Blaster. The list goes on and on. I had an original Generation 1 Optimus Prime. And my dumb young ass just said, hey, let's strap some cherry bombs to him.
Oh, no.
One leg went that way. One leg went that way. I mean, one arm went that way. You know, it's kind of like what Ahmed said in the Jeff Dunham video. Over there, and over there. I mean.
If you knew then what you know now, you definitely wouldn't have.
It's such a tragedy. This wasn't supposed to get dark, Tony. We don't blow up Optimus Prime.
hey, and I don't remember if I did it before or after the movie. Maybe after the movie.
Would have been darker if it was after the movie, yeah.
It was, yeah.
I'm going to tell you another story. This is another sad story featuring Megatron. Back in 1997, I went to go see a friend of mine in Conway. We went to a flea market in Little Rock, and we're looking around. I'm not interested in any of the stuff. This one guy has a G1 Megatron in the box.
Oh, wow.
I had $700 with me. I was single. I had a little bit of extra cash. He wanted $100 for this thing.
And you said no, didn't you?
And I said no because I was not going to spend $100 on it.
No.
I went home, and just so happens I had the new. And you understand where I lived at. I'm about 3 hours away, 4 hours. Back then, in the 90s, I was 4 hours away. But anyway, I went home. Just so happens I had the new Toy Fair magazine, and I flipped to the back, seeing how much that book toy was worth. Yeah. I went back to Little Rock, and it was gone.
Oh no!
But this is the saddest story of the night.
That is the closest I ever came to having, because if my dumb ass would have bought it then, I'd still have it now.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Now that you're older, you know now.
Yeah. You live and learn.
You live and learn. It's gonna come up. You're gonna get it. You're gonna land in G1 Megatron one of these days, Tony.
So my best find ever. Let's try and make this happy again.
Okay.
I was in a I was probably about 13, 12, 13, something like that. I was in a church jumble sale, is what we call it. It's a bit like, basically, the thing that you were just talking about. I've forgotten what the American word is for it.
Flea markets?
Yeah, flea market style thing. Yeah, because we don't have flea markets, we have jumble sales. And basically, yeah, it was in the church hall, and I paid 80 pence, just a little under £1 for a G1 Overlord. And like Overlord is like, it's huge, and it's worth a fortune now compared to the 80 pence I paid for it. It's an absolute win.
Tim made a comment. He said, blowing up a G1 Autobot with cherry bombs. I think Tony is secretly a Decepticon disguised as a human. Well, I do identify with Starscream, so I mean. And then let's see, Joseph Michaels. Hey, Joseph. And also a shout out to Manny the Hobgoblin. I seen him in the chat. He says, "Yep, Tim, I believe Tony's one of them Decepticon pretenders." Well, you never know. And then it says, "Yeah, it's classic and forever say." Now I want to touch back on the grills because I just thought of one, and I don't know why I didn't think about it before. I want to say that he was in season 4. I don't remember, but he may not have been in the show at all. He was never in the comics as far as Marvel. I mean, maybe popped up in IDW or whatever. But another Transformer I'd love to get my hands on, never seen one ever, is Six Shot.
Oh, I had a Six Shot. I had one from I actually bought it at a flea market here in San Jose once back in the 80s. It was Six Shot, but it was like funky boxing, right? It was kind of like a third party wannabe, not quite. It's a six robot.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how they named it there. And I had Six Shot. I thought it was just the coolest thing. But the G1 original Six Shot, that's money. That is just way up there. Six Shot was pretty dope.
I figured he was expensive.
4th season. The Rebirth. He's definitely in the Rebirth. Yeah.
See, I thought
he transforms all the different things in one scene.
I had thought that he was in Rebirth, but I couldn't remember.
He definitely is, 100%.
And for those in the chat that may not know, I mean, I'm assuming you guys will automatically know this. For all of us that watched season 4, it was Rebirth, and that was it. Mm-hmm. But in Japan, it went a whole nother 3 seasons. Mm-hmm. And I'd really like to get my hands on those.
They didn't count the Rebirth at all over there.
No.
So that never aired, and that's why you've got the next season in Japan was called The Headmasters, because they just did their own thing, completely ignoring Rebirth.
Japan said, "Thank you, America. We'll take it back. It's okay. We appreciate what you've done.
We got this."
I'm gonna point out, because in my spotlight video, I pointed this out in some of the facts, that when they resurrected Prime at the end of season 3, the Takara was not happy with that. They wanted him to stay dead.
Yeah.
So they actually, in the Japanese versions of those shows, they killed Prime again.
Yeah.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, real quick.
Again, thanks, America, but we're gonna go ahead and take it from here. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We don't care about your kids crying.
Yeah, let them cry. It builds character.
I knocked off the fusion cannon. It came.
Sad times.
It came like that. So I've talked about my Transformer shames and what I liked about it. So what are some of y'all's grails?
I've got one straight away. I've always wanted a mind wipe because I've got this very distinct memory. Right, you remember when the Pretenders came out?
Yeah,
like they had adverts on TV and stuff. My family were like lower middle class type growing up, so like we had toys that were either secondhand for most of the year, or at Christmas and birthdays you get like new toys. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was one of the rare occasions where I was allowed to buy a new toy, a new Transformer. And on the shelves in the store, you've got Mindwipe, who I'd wanted for ages, and these new Pretenders that I'd just seen the advert for that looked awesome to my dumbass at the time. So I picked the Pretender, got it home, opened it up, and cried. Because they're rubbish. Like they're just awful Transformers. And I was right there with Mindwipe, and it was just such a fool. It plagues me to this day.
We got Take Prime mentioned something else. He said I missed my original metal Voltron. Each line is like $200 each now, even repops. Wow. And then Tim says we need a Voltron live action movie. Just keep Michael Bay from it.
Yes, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, Voltron it surprises me that they've not really made a run at Voltron. I mean, Voltron wasn't that popular here, but I'm fully aware of it. Really? I've seen it. Yeah, it didn't really take much. Like whereas Transformers was huge.
Yeah,
and like Turtles and all that.
Voltron was pretty big here. Voltron was pretty
big. Iman, what is your big grill?
I'm gonna go 5. I'm gonna count them down, and my number one is my number one, but like the other 5 are kind of interchangeable. Okay, I'm gonna go with number 5. There is this die cut metal Predaking that I saw at a Toy Con once. And it was just so detailed. Predaking just looks so badass. And I would probably say Predaking is my second favorite evil robot. And I will say evil because even though he was a Predacon, he was the Predacons put together. And he didn't really associate too much with the Decepticons. All 5 of them were like, whatever, dude, like we're badass, like we don't need you, like we're bad too, like you guys aren't as bad as us. You're like, I really like Predaking and all the Predacons. And I saw this metal die cut one. It was just so badass. Like I was asking like 10 grand for it because it was like a prototype, but it looked absolutely gorgeous because of how much detail it was. So I would say Predaking is there. You have my Unicron. That Tony, that Unicron is so bad, and I would want like the original Unicron from that series. I would want that in my collection. I would also say a G1 Ultra Magnus. There was just something about G1 Ultra Magnus that I really like because like his trailer transformed into him. You know, it was Optimus Prime's, right? But it transformed into him. So it completely changes character. And then number 2, I would say this: Robots in Disguise, the original Japanese version, the one where it was Optimus and Ultra Magnus, and they would be able to change into each other. They would change it to like Optimus Magnus or Ultra Prime. It was super cool. That series was really cool. It was a standalone, like I think 50 plus episodes, but like it was only one season in that original Robots in Disguise. When I saw that coming back like in like 2002 or 2003 here in the States, I was like, oh my God, they brought Transformers back. And I watched the whole thing. It was just such a cool show. That's where I learned about Scourge and Nemesis Prime. And that's where I saw this, this combination of Ultra Magnus and Prime. And Prime was kind of still the same. Like he was still a leader and very noble, but Ultra Magnus was a good guy, but he hated Prime to the core because he felt like Prime took his thunder away. And then you find out that they're brothers. You know, a little cheesy, but I liked it. And then when they really thought about it, they were able to transform into another, combine into like a really super cool robot. So like that's the one that I want.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. There's 2 more. So the Robosen Grimlock and the Robosen Optimus, of course.
Yeah.
But the number one, absolute number, and I probably could never have it unless I have like my own room somewhere in a new house, is the HasLab Unicron.
Yeah.
The HasLab Unicron is like number 1. If I can get that in the collection, screw everything else.
Yeah, I'd quite like that. Yeah, that would
my biggest problem with the HasLab Unicron is being able to justify it with my wife.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I do not have the room for that thing.
No.
But if I had the opportunity and the money, I would still buy it. Like,
I don't have the room either, but I'd do the same thing. I'd buy it as well.
Yeah. I would sell literally all the comics that almost hold on, wait, let me say that again. Not all of the comics. Most of the comics that I would have, I would sell. Some of the toys that I have, I would sell specifically to get that one thing. But even if I had the money, even if I had the eBay money to buy the HasLab Unicron, I can't justify it because there's no space.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem with that.
I have thought of another one. Like my favorite toy and sort of character, but it's mainly the toy, is Sea Spray. I'd love to get a graded, carded Sea Spray. That would be an original. That would be amazing. I love Sea Spray, and I don't know why. It's because when I was a kid, I used to play with him all the time. He's so little, tiny, and like fun. Like it's a great toy.
He was still cool.
There was a couple of reissues of him too, a couple of third-party reissues of him that also had the. See, I like the third-party Transformers a whole lot because of the articulation that goes into it, and they're money, but they are worth it because you can do things that you can with those third parties that you can't with the G1, right? Yeah. But still, it still has that memory embedded in you. Yeah, it's named like. Water sport or something like that because of copyright. But it's Sea Spray, and I've seen like really cool iterations. I've seen like I want to say like an 8-inch Sea Spray once.
Yeah, there is a really good one.
Yeah, see, and then they're doing that with the Stunticons. Like they're slowly releasing a really cool Menasor. They did that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, dude, Menasor is really cool. Here's my question to the two of you though. Menasor or Bruticus?
Ooh, I would go Menasor. I was a Stunticons kid. I had the box set, and I love the Stunticons. They're amazing.
Oh my god, I don't know. I love Bruticus.
Bruticus is amazing. I mean, I'm not knocking him. Like, he's great.
I like the head of Bruticus. I just like the mask look, but I like the body of Menasor, and I liked how Menasor was an equal to Optimus Prime, right? And that's what I really liked about Menasor the most. I just like Bruticus's head, and Bruticus was more brute, right? He was more brute, just stupid. He was kind of dumb. Menasor was cool. He was a little bit more methodical, and he kind of knew, like, all right, I could be more conniving, more cunning, and that's what I liked about Menasor more. All right, nerding out a little bit. I'm sorry.
I'll go with Menasor. As much as I love Bruticus, I'll go with Menasor.
Yeah, I would go Menasor too. I would take Predaking over all of those combiners. By the way,
I've never seen a Predaking in person because they weren't released in the UK. So it's another one of my grails. Really, like to get an original Predaking. It'd be fantastic.
I'm telling you, dude, the one that I saw, your jaw would have dropped, DVH. It was just bam, like, oh my god, is this what I think? And it was metal diecast. It was just beautiful.
Well, guys, we have approached the 1 hour 33-minute mark, so let's go around the board. And Iman, what you got coming up?
Keep an eye on my channel, Eman's World of Geek. I'm actually working on a San Diego Comic-Con haul that I haven't posted yet. And every Tuesday, I also host or co-host a podcast called the C-List Villains Podcast here on YouTube. We go live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern. This week, I believe we have Minerva Fox, who's going to be on the show that we're going to interview. She is an artist for a book called The Mask of Halia. Next week, we have Philip Tan on the show. We're going to be interviewing him. And then we have quite a few more interviews coming up on the C-List Villains podcast. And then I'm going to be kickstarting the E-Man show here shortly on my channel. So follow me. I'm close to 400 subscribers, so please help me out, you guys. I'm almost there. Like, subscribe, E-Man's World of Geek. I would really appreciate it. I'm going to be doing a pretty cool giveaway for that one as soon as I hit 400 also.
Tate Prime, E-Man says, I need an opinion on a Transformers model. Send it in a DM. Thank you so much in advance.
Got you, Tate. I'll keep an eye out, bro.
All right, DVH, what you got going
on? This week, I'll have a video up Monday for sure, and Friday there'll be 2 unboxings, probably slabs, I would think. Maybe a Wrestle Crate as well during the week because I love my Wrestle Crate.
I love your I love those videos, those Wrestle Crate videos you do. I love those.
They're fun. I really love them. And yeah, then I probably will be here this time next week. I expect if you'll have me.
Oh yeah, always. I don't have a topic yet for next week, but so coming up for me tomorrow morning, I've already got it set. It's supposed to drop at midnight. Will be my unboxing of the Venom statue. I've already filmed the unboxing for the Megatron. I've got some AOKs coming. I'm gonna do some Transformers shorts. Probably show off some more stuff I got for my birthday and some videos.
Nice.
Next week's comic spotlight, we're going back to the Golden Age. I'm doing More Fun Comics 73, the first appearance of Green Arrow and Aquaman. And then we'll be back here next week for episode 6 of Into the Comiverse. So I want to take a minute, I want to thank E-Man and DV8 for hanging out. We talked Transformers. I really appreciate you guys hanging out. I want to thank everybody for hanging out in the chat and everybody that's watching us on the replay. I really do appreciate it. And before I forget, because I always tend to forget to do this, we've got, 7 days left for the CBC Awards. So if you haven't nominated your favorite YouTube content creators yet, go to www.cbcawards.org to nominate your favorite YouTube creators. And I guess that's it.
If you guys haven't, just let me throw this out since we're talking CBCA
best hair goes. Yeah.
If you don't have a person for best hair written down, I might know a Jason Momoa stump double that you guys may want to nominate, and he likes Transformers, so look him up. He might appreciate it. Okay.
Cool. Well, until next time, I'm gonna play a little video to get us out of here. And thanks everybody for hanging out, and we'll see you next time for another episode of Into the Comiverse.